Hey YouTube, Rob coming to you guys here with the deck profile. As you can see, it is my updated Eldlich trap deck. I think I wanted to change the route of the deck a little bit more. I talked with my friend Donovan a good bit, and he's playing still the 9 Solemn deck, but he's also playing DP in the deck now. And I like that direction of that deck a lot, but I think the way of the current meta, I think I really had to like change the deck around quite a fair bit amount. Like I'd want to say it's much different. And that being said, I'm going to show you guys the deck. I don't have a side deck built yet, so, you know, custom it as you wish, but this is what I came up with. So you have 3 Golden Lords. You just kind of want to see this card because it's really good at breaking boards and forcing cards out. Getting rid of Masquerade so you can play the rest of your cards in your hand. Getting rid of Branded in Red set so the Guardian Chimera doesn't pop your back row. Getting rid of the 10-star Sword Soul guy or the Blackout. They don't hit 2 of your cards. It's just really strong. Yeah, and he's just a good card. And then we have 3 Lord of Heavenly. This card's kind of important in the deck just because you want to keep your stuff protected as much as you possibly can. And he's just big. And yeah, and that's all the monsters. Just 6 monsters in the deck. Next we have loose spells next. We have 3 Extrav, Called by the Grave, and 3 Outland. Still a big fan of this card. I still really think this card's really strong. It does conflict with one of the new cards I put in the deck for, to try it out. But if you have the other card up, you should be winning the game regardless, and you don't need this card. And if you draw this card first, then just you need it once to resolve. So, yeah. That being said, I don't think I want to change the spell ratio at all. I think the spell ratio is just perfect. Well, not perfect, but I think it's like the way I like the deck the most. Next is our Eldlich engine. Not a lot. It's the more or less just standard. You have 3 of these, 2 of these, 3 of these. I don't think I'd change anything here. I really was a big fan of 3 of this for a long time, but it's not that great versus the meta right now. I think this is just better. Nothing else changed. If I didn't have the deck at 41, I'd put one of the 2 spells in, but I'm not sure which. So you can put them in yourself. 3 Judgment. This is our only counter trap. It's no longer 9x or IX Solemns. Just 3. And lastly is the rest of the cards that just say your opponent can't play the game. We'll go with the first more obvious is 3 Skill Drain. This is like the normal bread and butter of the deck. 2 Gozen. It's not great versus Despia. Not great versus Dynamorphia, but it's not really a real deck. But it's really strong against like Sun Avalon and stuff. Same with like Rivalry, and there can be. I just put 2s of these because I side deck the 3rd copy of each of these for sure. And you never know which like Floodgate you're gonna want at a certain point. But I wanted these. These are like the main Floodgates. These are the better ones, you should say. But the other ones are the more interesting ones. So Despia being such a strong deck and Therion being such a strong deck, I have 3 anti-spell. It stops a lot of spell cards that are just like really big in the meta right now. So if you can flip an anti-spell and just like stint them for a turn, you can just like hold off and win the game there. They can't brand it in red on your turn if they set it off of Albion, so they have to wait till their turn, so they can't hit you back with a Guardian Chimera. Next is we have 3 Mistakes. This is the card I was saying that conflicts with Cursed Outland, but I think this card is just so high impact against a lot of the meta. So much of the meta searches, like Aluber, Tragedy, Mercurier, Therion Spell, Lily, Painful Decision. There's just so much searching in the meta right now that this just hits it. The Tenny spells, Sword Soul Emergence, just, yeah, it just, Longyuan, just so many cards search. And if you can just cut that off with Mistake, you're cutting them off from so many resources that you can win the game single-handedly on a Mistake. Colossus is banned for a reason, so that's not the same reason as this, but whatever. Then lastly, we have 2 Grave of the Super Ancient Organism. It's kind of like your 4th and 5th copy of Skill Drain, whereas like the decks this is good against, it's not great against because it really only stops on the field. But against Despia, it's just, they can't do anything. Against Sword Soul, can't do anything. It's really bad versus Flunder, which like Mistake's good against Flunder as well. But like all of your other traps except Rivalry, all of these are good against Flunder. That deck's just a buy. But Super Grave, I mean, I guess this does hurt Flunder because they can't hit you with Raza or M-Pen. So like it actually has like some actual applications where it's like alright against them. But it's just, yeah, it's Skill Drains number 4 and 5. If like Flunder wasn't in the meta and Sun Avalon, because it's not really good against Sun Avalon minus on Lily. Yeah, I would say like 3 of this, but since like those decks exist, this is only a 2 of. But yeah, this is like the more or less like super heavy Floodgate build. And I just really like wanted to try just shifting it up a little and just being able to flip multiple Floodgates on their board. It feels better. I don't really think Torrential is super impactful right now anymore because the Despia deck is so recursive. The Therion deck is just very strong. Like the Punk cards do a lot on their own. Sword Soul puts so little card in, and they get a lot out of it. Like you can do a lot with just the Tenny cards. And yeah, it's just, I don't think Torrential's like super strong. And I don't think Strike is super strong either, because it's like, what are you going to strike a lot of the time? It just doesn't do enough sometimes. That being said, though, like I might want to try to put them back in, but I just want more Floodgates right now instead. And this is just my build, and yours can be however you like it. So you can check that out. The extra deck now is mostly one-ofs, even though we're playing extra. But how much of this are you actually going to use? So you have Hip, BLS, Spider. You have the 2 Charmers still. Vampire Sucker. Trying Underworld Goddess in here, even though you can't really summon it that easily. But I don't know. You don't go in your extra deck. Imduck. 2 Pleiades. 2 Gustav Max and Lieb. We have a Gaia for the Pleiades, and then we have Zeus. Other than that being said, yeah, this is just like a simple extra deck. Not playing Punishment, so we don't need any of those cards whatsoever. And this is just a free, like this could be cut, this could be cut, this could be cut. You can just make whatever you want, honestly. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this video. This is a very Floodgatey deck. So peace, guys.